Hi, I'm James Lees and you join me here at Slimbridge for another episode of WildWatch. In this week's episode, we're going to be looking at the northern pintail on our reserve. We're going to be going over to Phoebe, who's going to be talking us through the difference between the Barrow's Goldeneye and the common Goldeneye, and then over to John, who's going to be looking at some of the smaller mammals that grace our wetlands. Now, it's been a very wet and mild winter, and that's created really good flood conditions on our reserve, and that's ideal feeding conditions for thousands of water birds. One of the most numerous at the moment is surprisingly the northern pintail, which is relatively scarce but beautiful duck to the UK. And the males are in superb plumage at the moment. Very long, elegant neck, this lovely chocolate brown head, silvery body and a bit of lemon yellow under the tail. And the actual tail itself has these two very long needle-like tail feathers, which the bird gets its name from, or certainly its English name anyway. And these are part of its very fabulous breeding display, where it'll actually lift up its head calling, and then if the female shows interest, he'll actually push his bottom in the air and make sure she gets a good look at these really long tail feathers. Now, we've actually got record numbers of pintail with us at the moment, over 1,600, which sounds a fantastic number for us here, and it really is. But pintail is surprisingly one of the most numerous ducks in the world. They'll be breeding in the northern part of the world, whether it be Alaska, Canada, Europe or Russia, and they'll actually winter as far south as Panama and Central Africa. Now, I'm just watching what is an amazing spectacle at the moment, even behind the camera here. There are literally thousands of golden plover just whirling around in the sky. And this is a great time of year to see wading birds here at Slimbridge, but probably one of the best years for a long time because of the mild winter and abundance of soft and wet ground. And if you come and visit at the moment, you'll see particularly two real main species, one of which is the lapwing with this glossy green wading bird with a big tuft on its head, and the golden plover, which is gold on the back and white underneath. And you can see these birds out in the reserve feeding away, and every now and again when they're disturbed by a bird of prey, we get these huge flocks up in the air, and it is definitely one of the best wildlife spectacles in the country at the moment.
Hello and welcome to the Tundra exhibit at WWT Slimbridge. We're here specifically to talk about Goldeneye. At WWT Slimbridge we keep the Barrow's Goldeneye and the common Goldeneye. The Goldeneye species are doing very well in the wild at the moment. They're probably one of the only species actually increasing in number. So the common Goldeneye is definitely common. It occupies the North American, Greenland, Iceland, all the way through Northern Europe, Russia and China. So their fantastic range means that they're possibly pushing nearly 5 million individuals. And these are very distinct from the Barrows through a selection of things you can really get your eye in on. So the shape of the head is very distinctly sloped and curving and gentle. And there is a very lacking mane at the back of the head. In addition, it's very green in iridescence. The Barrow's Goldeneye is separated by altitude, occupying the Rocky Mountains on the west coast of the States. The Barrow's Goldeneye has a fantastic fluffy head, very iridescent blue. The eye is closer to the white cheek patch and it's far more of a kidney shape. It maps the curve of the inner mandible as the beak goes underneath the chin. Also, some very distinct plumage tells as well. So if you were to look at where the navy blue-green meets the white in a common Goldeneye, we're talking about an interlocking of the two colours, blue then white. Whereas if we're looking at a Barrow's Goldeneye, there are some little white checkerboard windows running along the top of their flank, which are very distinctive and allow you to definitely identify which one you're looking at. It's easy for visitors here at Slimbridge, however, because we do keep the two species distinct from one another. The Tundra pen houses the common Goldeneye and the North American pen houses the Barrow's Goldeneye. It's a lovely opportunity to see Barrows at the moment. We've bred far more in the last 2 years than we've done in maybe the last decade. So we're finally able to show a nice chunk of birds displaying beautifully next door. So please do come down to the exhibits and have a little look for yourselves and really get your eye on two fantastic species.
Hello and welcome to Behind the Scenes here at Mammal HQ. If you're members or regular visitors, you may have noticed that our water shrews haven't been on show for a while. We have a new pair and they've just gone into their honeymoon suite. The water shrews are slightly different to the other animals in the viewing gallery because they're an insectivore and the voles and the harvest mice are rodents. They're a meat eater, so they'll be looking for the earthworms and mealworms. To help them do that, they've got a very twitchy nose and a good sense of smell. Earthworms are fairly quiet, so their ears aren't that important, and their eyes are pretty non-existent. Be no surprise that they're related to the moles. And in the wild, they'd have a scent world where they'd follow their own trails round and find their way around their own habitat. Usually you keep the shrews separate. They tend to be a bit argumentative, but today they've gone into the big tank, and before then we've been swapping the bedding back and forth so that at least smelt each other and know there's a presence of a shrew in their territory, but they have got their own areas to keep themselves to themselves. Fingers crossed we'll have some youngsters and they'll be out on show for springtime.
So the winter months are absolutely jam-packed here at Slimbridge with activities, events and workshops for everybody. So why not come along to our Water's Edge Cafe for a lovely Mother's Day lunch overlooking our Caribbean flamingos. We've also got, over the Easter period, from Good Friday right through to April the 10th, our annual giant duck hunt, which is a great event for all the family.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed this episode of WildWatch, and if you want to check out more of our stuff, go to our WWT YouTube account. You can also keep up to date with our events at WWT Slimbridge Twitter account, and for all the latest wildlife sightings, go to our account, which is at Slimbridge Wild. Now make sure you go and grab your packed lunch and your binoculars and get down here and see these wonderful golden plover and lapwing flocks while they're here. See you soon.